Okay, just wait, I am starting. Okay, so let's start. So we have discussed in previous, that is the what is the blocks. Okay, what is block, why it is uses, and what is the basic idea of this blocking system of the transfer function equations. Then we have to discuss, that is the summing point or reference point or set point. What is, then we have to discuss, that is a branch point. Okay, so these are the basically basic requirement things of a design of a block diagram techniques of the transfer functions. So now we have to discuss another part. This is a different process or rules. Okay, different process or rules how the block diagram algebra we have to draw the transfer functions. So this block diagram, it can be used to find overall transfer functions of the systems. Rules are framed such that any modifications made on the diagram does not after the input and output relation rules. Okay, so please remember these things also. Here, block diagram techniques. So why block diagram it is required? First, you have to know. So you have to given a block representation figures. Previous slides we have to show, we have to given the positive feedback network or negative feedback network. So question is, you have to draw the transfer function from the given figures. So at that time you have to follow the block diagram algebraic rules for solve this type of problem. So number one rules, so please everyone see this. Number one, combining the blocks in cascade format. Cascade means, cascade means, that means two or more blocks, two or more signals. It is attachable one system. This is called the cascade systems. Okay. So here you can see, this is the first controller part. This is G1. This is first controller. Another one is the G2. This is another one, G2 controller. So in this diagram, these two controller part or two parts we have to attachable here. This is the input point. This is A is inputted first controller part. Then this first controller part is outputted, that is A G1. Then this input, it is inputted here G2. The finally we have to resolve, that is A G1 G2. So when we have to combining this equation, that is block diagram reduction techniques. Block diagram reduction technique. Reduction means that is you have to decrease the different blocks into the cascade system. Okay, so now this two controller part we have to attachable one block. So this is A is input G1 G2, the output is G1 and G2. So this output equation, these are the same. So this is called the block diagram reduction technique. Here two blocks are present. So that's why in this cascade system, these two blocks we have to attachable into the one controller or one block systems. Okay. So this is a block diagram reduction technique. And here are different uh, advantages are present in this block diagram techniques, because here we can see first controller part it is operating. So in that time, timing is requirement, and that time different types of error it is started, error is occurring, that is human type of error or instrument error, or different types of hazards are coming. So then this part it is also same as another part. So this type of losses are coming in the transfer functions also. So this type of losses we have to calculate it, and you have to decrease this error level of this desired output. So we have combining these two blocks in the cascade format also. And this is also size is very low, previous one, and this is completed in one block, etc. So this is called the cascade system. So first rule you have to apply, combining the blocks in cascade format. Clear? It is clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next, number two, combining blocks in parallel. First one we have to discuss the series format, but when you have to given the parallel format, so these are the basically parallel. Clear? This is G1 and this is G2. Okay, this is G2 also. This is G2. 2 is missing here. So this is the input section. A is the input which is connected to the two blocks in the parallel connections. This is G1 and G2. Then G1 output, it is coming from here. That is the reference input or set point. Another one is this is AG1, sorry, AG2 is coming here. Then finally we have to receive the result AG1 plus AG2. Clear? So this is the combining blocks in parallel. So we have to conclude this type of equation in that parameter. This is A is input. Another next one single block. This is G1 plus G2. So we have to easily write it in here AG1 plus AG2. Okay. So this is combined feed forward path. Okay. So this type of series connections or parallel connections of the transfer function block, we have to implement this type of systems. Okay. So when you have to given this type of equations, that is this type of diagram from your given questions, so you have to combining these blocks in this into this format also. Next one, number 3, moving the branch point ahead of the block. Okay. So here you can see this is a basically one required diagram you have to given. This is the input A. This is G is the that is the controller part. Another one that is a branch. I have telling in that previous branch is coming, that is this input, it is classified into the branch from here. This is 1, this is another 2, 1 and 2. So output is coming, that is also AG. Next, here you can see we have to moving the branch point ahead the block. That means this point we have to attachable in that part. So the diagram is changes here. You can see this is A is connected first controller part. Then this is one input, that is AG is coming. This AG is same. Then this branching point we have to attachable here. This is AG, that is AG is coming 1 by G. Okay, so these are the another one, that is G and G, it is cutting down on the A is result. So this is a basic process, any moving of the branch point ahead of the block. ओके सो आप लोग ऐसे भी कोई भी ब्रांच अगर आप इसमें आ जाएगा, सो यू हैव टू यूजुअली कन्वर्टेड दिस ब्रांच इनटू दिस पैटर्न, दिस वन टू दिस वन. क्लियर? Is clear all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, another one. Number 4, number rules. Till now, we have to conclude the different types of rules. And after the rules, we have to apply the different rules in the given problems also. Number 4, moving the branch point before the block. Okay. So here you can see you have to given this type of questions. That is moving the branch point before the block. So here you can see this A, this is a controller part, this AG, these are the basically one branch. So you have to shift this branch before the block. That is, you have to change this branch into this section. So these are the basically process. This is A, this is 2 controller part. That is first one, that is also second one. And this type of branch is shifted from here to here. But the result is coming parallelly. That is, one is here another one is also here. So these are the basically process moving the branch point before the blocks. Okay, so that type of diagram, please remember these things where where this type of branches you have to moving, so you have to apply these rules also. Next, number 5, moving summing point ahead of the block. Summing point, so please remember these things also, we have discussed in previous slides. That is a summing point. What is summing point? Anyone please tell me what is summing point? I am conclude this part in previously. What is summing point? Anyone please tell me. No one. What is summing point? मतलब हम पढ़ा के जा रहे हैं, आप लोग ध्यान नहीं दे रहे। कुछ देर पहले तो हम बोले what is branch, what is block, what is summing point. What is summing point? Summing point, it is a point which is summing two or more signals into the one given equations. That means here you can see this is basically one summing point. Here two different signals it is attachable here. That is A and that is B. The result is coming, that is A plus B. Clear? So now this A plus B, that is a two moving part, that is two moving sections. It is applied to the single controller part, that is G. The result is coming A plus B into G. So this is basically moving summing point ahead of the block. So when you have to given this type of circuits or this type of diagram, you have to shift it. This is the basically logic. Here you can see we have to attach, that is A and B, two input sections. One controller part it is attached from here, another one G is connected here. Clear? So output is here, that is AG, and here output is BG. Then this is the basically summing point. We have to attachable. Those are positive region, that is a positive feedback network. So that's why we have to written here AG plus BG. That means A plus B into G. So here you can see this diagram, it is changes into the format, into the rules, that is moving summing point ahead of the blocks also. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Next, number 6. Number 6 rules, moving summing point before the block. First one, moving summing point ahead the block. Clear? Another one is, that is this summing point, it is moving this one to the after the blocks. And another number 6 point, moving summing point before the block. That is the summing point. So this summing point, it is applied, it is connected the before the block. So these are the basically before the block. So here you can see this is a basically easily we have to calculate it here. This is the input section. This is the first controller action, that is the first block. Okay. Then the output is coming, that is AG. Then this is the summing point or controller part, that is positive and positive. Okay. This is the another branch also we have to attachable, that is a B also here. Then the equation output, that is AG plus B. So this output and this output obviously same. So that's why we have to change it, that is A directly is connected to the summing point or reference point. Then B is applied, that is a one block, that is a 1 by G, that is parallel connections. Then also result is coming A plus B by G. This is also another one controller part we have to attachable here. So the equation is coming, you have to calculate it from here, AG plus BG. So sorry, AG plus B. So this is the moving summing point before the block. So please remember these things when you have to given these types of diagram in the reference questions. So you have to easily changes this type of the into the these types also. And also sometimes it is also reversible, it is also changes. But that is you have to given this type of format, you have to easily changes this type of. Another one, number 7, it is very important. Interchanging the summing point. Okay, sorry. interchanging the summing point. So this is a, you have to given this summing point, another one, this is two summing point here also. Okay, so the number of two input, that is A and B, it is present here. So the first output from here, that is A plus B. Another one, this output, it is also attachable here also. And also here you can see that is C is negative. There is a negative feedback or negative loops, feedback loops we have to connect it here. Another summing point. So the finally result from here, A plus B minus C. Clear? So now you have to given the this summing point, you have to interchangeable. Okay, so what is the process? Here you can see A is entering here, C is entering here. C is the negative feedback loop. Clear? Then the output from here, that is A minus C, is coming here. This A minus C is inputted here, and another branch B is inputted here. So the result is coming A minus C plus B. So we can accommodate this equation, that is A plus B minus C. So these are the A plus B minus C, A plus B minus. These are the same thing. So we can easily interchange the summing point into this parameter also. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, another one, splitting the summing points. That means you have to given one summing point. Here you can see three signals. Three signals are present here also. That is A, B, and C also. Okay. So that is a C is a negative feedback also. So this, sorry. So this A, B, and C. So that is A is positive, B is positive. Another one is the C is the negative also. So you can easily splitting this summing point. So we have to split the summing point into two parameters. That is two summing point. So first one, we have to apply the A and B. Finally, you have to result, that is a plus B. Then another one branch, that is C, is added here. It is a negative feedback loop. So you have to add it here. That is A plus B minus C. So this is the basic process, splitting the summing point. Okay. Okay. So please note down it. Take one screenshot in this part, because it is very helpful when we have to solve the any problem. And next class we have to practice different types of problems also. I am given different problem in your class time, and please everyone solve this and take a picture and send me Google Classroom or WhatsApp group, etc. Okay. Next, number 9, that is the combining the summing point. That is, you have to given that is summing point. So you have to combine this summing point. So these are the basically the, just wait. Network, it is also fluctuate. So number 9 rules. So this is the basically combining the summing point. So you have to given the two summing point. Okay. So first summing point, here you can see A and B. This signal, it is attachable here. So the output from here, that is A plus B. Then another one, this is summing point we have to attach. That is also negative summing point or positive summing point, whatever you have to add it out here. So the result A plus B minus C. So these two summing point, you have to easily combining this part. That is A, that is B, that is C. C is the here negative point, negative feedback loop. So the equation, that is A plus B minus C. So this is output. These two both are same. So you have to easily combining the summing point into these parameters, into these types. Last, Last rules, that is the number 10, eliminating of feedback loop. These are the basically feedback loop. This H is the feedback loop which is connected output to the given set point also. All of you know. This is the input functions. This is the output functions. So you can easily eliminate these feedback loops also. And here also different types of rules are present. So you have to easily written this equation, that is C, that is R equal to G by 1 plus GH, that is C. So these are the basically feedback loop. We have to implemented this equation into this parameter. So please remember these things also, because feedback loops types of question it is also coming in your paper or questions also. So when feedback loop it is coming, in that case we have to changes this equation into this pattern, that is R G by 1 plus GH, that is equal to C, that means output. Clear? So this 10 rules, it is very important for solve the block diagram reduction problems. Okay. So now we have to conclude these rules in step by step. So step by step to reduce the block diagram. First, you have to first reduce the series block. Okay, that means we have to apply the first rules. First rules we have to take. First, we have to reduce the series type of blocks. I am repeating once again. So this is the basically a series block, and this is the basic process of applying. We have to reduce these types of equation. This is the series connections. Then number 2, that is the parallel connections. Parallel, we have to decreases this type of equations here. Number 3, this is the number 2, reduce parallel blocks. Number 3, reduce minor feedback loops. Okay, any loops अगर इसमें रहते हैं, that is reduce these minor feedback loops. So here you can see we have to use these different types of loops. So you have to easily decrease these types of loops also. Okay, that means branch, it is also shifted from the ahead of the block or before of the block, and summing point shifted, or summing point it is also ahead or before of the blocks also, and then interchanging the summing point or splitting the summing point or combining the summing point, and also another one is the feedback loop. So number 3, reduce minor feedback loops. Any loops are present, so minor feedback loops you have to reduce. Number 4, shift summing point to the left and takeoff point to the right. Takeoff point means that a set point. That is these are the basically takeoff point. Okay, this is the basic set point or takeoff point. So shift summing point to the takeoff left or takeoff point to the right as far as possible. Okay, that is what type of problem you have to given, and when you have to practice different type of examples, this is also clear also. Okay, number 5, repeat steps 1 to 4 until final transfer function is obtained. So these are the basic process. This is also repeating, that is repeat step 1 to 4 until the finally transfer function we have to not calculated. So when you have to receive the final transfer functions from the given format, at that time you have to stop this process. But until this process it is continue, finally transfer function when you have to obtain. Okay, so these are the basically rules, these are the basically process. So please see this carefully. Anyone any doubt or any questions, so please ask me. And everyone write your own name and roll number in the chat box also. And Pranav, you take a screenshot. Okay. So anyone any doubt or any questions, so please ask me from these rules and how it is implemented. Okay, it is clear all of you? No one is confirm me. It is clear or not?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, can you repeat the difference between takeoff point and summing point?
Yes. Summing point, that is the basic difference. Summing point, it is a different types of inputs, that is two or more inputs we have to connect it from here. And takeoff point means where the different branch is, it is connected, and this takeoff point, it is also connected, one feedback loop, another one is the summing point or controller point. So this takeoff point and also summing point, this more or less are same to same. So just recall them. Summing point, this is the basically branching point. This is also different two or more signals we have to attachable this summing point. And this point, when this point, it is also attachable one feedback loop or unity feedback loop or any controller part. This point, it is called the takeoff point also. Clear?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. So okay, so next we have to follow the one simple example. That's why the idea is clear. So using block diagram reduction technique, find the transfer functions of the system whose block diagram is shown in the figure below. Okay. So now this type of question you have to given in your exam. So you have to given this diagram and question is given using block diagram reduction techniques, find the transfer functions of the system whose block diagram shown below. That means you have to given this block diagram, you have to apply the block diagram reduction technique, and you have to calculate the transfer function from this block diagram. Okay, so now what I have to do? So first you can see all of you. So this is the basically input point. R is the input, C is the output section. Here you can see this is two summing point. Here we have to follow here. First one, another one is the second. Next, here you can see G1 and G2. Here you can see this G1 controller part, first block, and then second block G2. It is connected in the series connections. And then G1, G2, it is connected to the another summing point, and G3, it is connected in the parallel connection of the these two. So G3 is also, and one branch, it is also connected from here to the next summing point also. And another additional point, this is feedback loop, it is attachable only first block, that is G1. Okay, so now first step, move branch point after the block. Okay, that means these are the basically branch point. Okay, so this branch point we have to shift it from here to the from here. So that's why you can see this is the dotted line we have to, I have uses from this part to the this part. That means G3 is shifted from here to here. Okay, so now we have to calculate this equation. Please remember these things also, but but another part, it is also same to same. Next part, step 2, eliminate feedback path and combine blocks in cascade. So here you can see this G3, that is a G3 is shifted from here to here. So that's why we have, when you have to shift it, this is also changes, because this is a one block, that is a parallel block, it is present here, that is 1 by G1, that is G3. And this is the one first forward feedback path which is connected to the first block G1 and H, and this is the rest part of the this part. So this is the basically step 2. Okay. So this is the first, that is step 2, eliminate the feedback path and combine the blocks in cascade system. Next, step 3, combining parallel blocks. So these are the basically parallel block, this G1, G3, and another one that is G2. So we can easily write this equation, and this is a basically one feedback loop. We have to calculate it from here, that is G1 by 1 plus G1 H. Okay, so this is the rules 10. Rules 10 we have to apply it here, because we have to follow the rules 10. Here you can see this is the rules 10. This is a eliminate the feedback loop when this type of diagram you have to be given. So you can easily written that is G by 1 plus GH or G on H. So we can apply the rules 10 from here, G1 by 1 plus G1H. Then another part, this is also G3 by G1, because this is a one another blocks. We have to parallel combining this parallel block, that is G3 by G1, and these are the same thing, G2 summing point and also output part. Step 4, combining blocks in cascade system. So here you can see these are the two blocks. One is G3 by G1, another one is the G2. So we have to apply this cascade format. We have to learn in our previous rules, combining blocks in cascade system. That is first one, G1 by 1 plus G1H, and then G3 by G1 plus G2. Clear? Then input and output sections. So we can easily calculate it from here, G1 by 1 plus G1H. Then also we have to calculate it G3 plus G2 by into G1 by G1. So these are the required equations. So we can easily written this equation, that is R, that is the input section. Amit Kumar, any questions?
Mute kar.
Okay, so this is R, that is the input section, that is equal to G3 plus G2 into G1 by 1 plus G1H. Okay, so finally we have to written this transfer function. That is transfer function, we have to know output variable by input variable. That is the transfer function ratio. It is being output by input sections. Okay, so this C, that is the output variable by input variable, that is equal to G3 plus G2 into G1 by 1 plus G1H. Okay, so these are the basically process. You have to given the questions, and you have to finally given the output from the this equation according to the block diagram reduction rules also. So here you can see all of you. This is a basically transfer functions. This transfer functions you can easily draw here. This function, that is a G3 plus G2 into G1 by 1 plus G1. This is a small transfer function. But when you have to given the problem, here you can see you have to given this type of problems or figures where you have to use the different block diagram reduction technique. Then you have to calculate the transfer functions. Okay. So it is clear, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, next class we have to practice different types of problem also. And please read this carefully in your rooms. I have uploaded this class notes in your Google Classrooms. So everyone write your own name and roll number in the chat box also. And Pranav, you take a screenshot after ending the class. You have to send me. But anyone any
Yes,
doubt
sir.
or any questions, so please ask me. This is a very important part we have to discuss because one questions, one semester question, it is also coming from this part. That is one given problem we have to given and the question mark is 10. Okay. 10 marks का एक क्वेश्चन आप लोगों को यहाँ से आएगा ही आएगा. That is, you have to given this type of figures or this type of functions, and you have to apply the block diagram reduction technique, and you have to calculate the transfer functions. Okay, anyone any doubts? So please ask me. And these are the basically step by step process. And in your exercise book, you have to draw again and again these blocks. Okay. Step one, these are the basically required equation you have to give in. Then you have to draw the step one. This is the diagram. Then another one is step two, and you have to written this form also. Step two, you have to drawing. Then again, step three, step four, step five, etc. Wherever the finally you have to not receive the transfer function, this process is continuing. Okay. Okay. Just wait.